Hi friends, I'm Anthony the Priest, the artist, and I'm coming to you with another devotional moment. Again, I'm Anthony the Priest, the artist, and I'm coming to you with another devotional moment. Today I'd like to talk about blame slash confession. Who can I blame? And blame meaning to hold responsible, find fault with, censored. Let me invite your attention to James, the 5th chapter, verse 16. James 5:16 reads, "Confess your faults one to another, and pray one for another, that ye may be healed. The effectual fervent prayer of a righteous man availeth much." Now confession, we do it in two ways. Confession we do in two ways. We do it on the surface, and we all heard of the generic way that we do it. I'm just a sinner saved by grace. Nobody's perfect. I have weaknesses, and we do that to one another. But the other one we need to really do a lot, and that is confess our faults. The faults meaning the faults that we had committed, or in other words, sin. And usually that is done and with a priest or with a pastor, the senior pastor or the board or members or elders that can be trusted with confession. Not one that can't hold water, or get on the phone and gossip, girl, or man, did you hear what he did or she did? No, we confess. And pray with the person so they can be healed or forgiven for their confession. 1 Peter 2:2 reads, "For what glory is it if when ye be buffed for your own faults?" You have a lot of people saying, "Oh, I'm suffering," and what they do. A lot of times, what we brought it on ourselves, and we use, the devil just on my back. Well, not all the time. That's not the case. Pretty much, we have a weakness in that. It don't take too much for us to go through it, and then we did it, and then now we got to answer for the wrong that we did. So it's not. If we've been buffed for our fault, then, like Peter said, we have to take it patiently. So you shall take it patiently. But if ye do well and suffer for it, ye take it patiently. This is acceptable with God. If still either or we're going to suffer. If we buff for our faults, take it patiently. If we're suffering because we're holding on to the faith, still take it patiently. Who can I blame? No one. If it's my fault, it's my fault. If the other person's fault, then let that fault be held accountable. Let them be held accountable for their actions. But we have to be held accountable for what we do in the church and outside the church. There's no shifting blames. There's no shifting blames anymore. We got to be held accountable for our actions and not to shift the blame. Let us continue to pray. The Lord give us strength, and pray for one another for our weaknesses that we say and confess on the surface, and for those weaknesses that faults that we committed in privacy or without, that God heal us of our faults and give us strength to come up and go through and do away with those different weaknesses that we confess. This has been Anthony the Priest, the artist, and this has been another devotional moment. God bless you.